One of the top priorities for Texas state leaders this session, school safety and youth mental health.
Steffi Lee reports on the push for the state to strengthen its suicide prevention efforts.
School safety, is a #1 priority, but school safety doesn't just look like preventing the next school shooting.
Lawmakers heard Tuesday safer schools start with healthier students. This House Public Education Committee meeting follows 3 recent suicides linked to the Parkland and Sandy Hook school shootings.
A suicide rocks an entire community.
My son was just one of many, unfortunately, that died by suicide.
The Texas Suicide Prevention Council is championing 2 bills related to its mission.
There are existing training programs, and the Suicide Safer Schools has a series of best practices that are available online that schools can do now.
One bill would require districts to develop a plan to prevent, intervene, and help students after a suicide.
A lot of schools don't know how to approach it appropriately, and sometimes that can cause further trauma or cause additional suicides, kind of copycat suicides.
Another bill would mandate all educators statewide get suicide prevention training every 2 years. Right now, it's only required for new employee orientations.
Intervening in a crisis is not one time you learn about it and you're done. It's a journey. It's a continuous conversation on how to help students stay safe.
Steffi Lee, KXAN News.
Neither bill, according to their fiscal notes, would require any significant extra funding from the state of Texas. Budget analysts say there could be some cost to school districts related to developing prevention and intervention plans.
If you have concerns about someone's well-being, there is a list of questions that can be helpful. It's called the Columbia Protocol, also known as the Columbia Suicide Severity Rating Scale. It was created to help reduce the suicide risk among people suffering with depression. One of the questions, have you wished you were dead or could go to sleep and not wake up? You could also ask if that person has been thinking about how they might commit suicide, if they've taken any steps toward a suicide attempt, such as collecting pills, buying a gun, or writing a suicide note. You can find the full list of questions on KXAN.com. If you or someone you know is struggling with suicidal thoughts, call the Suicide Prevention Lifeline. That number is 1-800-273-TALK or 8255.